All right, what's going on, friends? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to install that 72-inch fan up there. In this video, I will take down a small fan. I'll be talking to you a little bit about how to hook it up to the electrical part of it, but I am not a professional electrician, so if you're not comfortable with the electricity, I recommend getting a professional electrician. You could actually put this fan inside your house if you want. I have it on well, you can see it's on my deck here, and all the blades are aluminum, so you don't have to worry about them to start drooping because of like humidity or anything. I really like this fan, and I'll show you step by step on how to install it. So just follow along. So let me get this box all opened up. We'll go over all the parts, and I will tell you all the tools that I'm going to use. It did come shipped in a whole nother box, and it seems like there's nothing wrong with it. I tore off a sticker here, that's why there's a couple little holes there. So far it looks like it is very well packaged. There's a huge, very thick foam here. Yeah, very thick, that's nice. Let's get some of these parts out. This is a 72-inch fan. I have a small little fan here on my deck that should be really nice to replace this with, because I sit here on my deck and I can't even hardly feel the wind off of this little tiny fan. So this should probably work a lot better. I'm going to open these up as I go. If you are replacing a ceiling fan in your house, hopefully this should be okay. But if you're replacing like just a light in the middle of your living room, or a light just in the middle of maybe your deck or porch, you got to make sure the bracket that is in the ceiling is rated to hold the weight of a ceiling fan. A lot of times if you have a light in your living room or somewhere, it just has a little electrical box up there that maybe just nailed into place. It'll probably hold the ceiling fan for a little while, but eventually it's going to start coming loose and it's going to shake all over. So you don't want to do that. So you might want to do some research to see if your electrical box in your ceiling is rated for a fan. If you are watching this to put this together, I took all the parts out of the box, and down in the bottom are where all the fan blades are at. I can feel them. Look at that. These suckers are cool. There they are. Nice instructions. Looks like nice instructions. Wow, look pretty nice. I'm going to unpackage this and try to keep it in all its little bundles. So let me do that real quick. All right, I got everything out of the box. These are all the fan blades, and they are aluminum. I went inside and got one of my kids' little toys. It's a magnet. You'll see these are steel. Picks that right up. But these are actually aluminum. So that's pretty cool. Wonder if these are aluminum. Nope, that's steel. So we'll see how this holds up outside. At least I know these aren't going to sag. And there's a lot of metal parts on the one I have right now, and that's doing just fine. So everything's separated. This is what I recommend you should do. Take everything out of the box. So I have all the fan blades separated. These are like the down posts, I guess. I don't know. That's what I'm going to call them. You're only going to probably use one or the other. And I did take some of these parts. They all come in separate little bags. So I kept them separated when I took them apart, or I took them out of the bags. And there's this one little silver screw here. I don't know if that's for like a grounding screw. You get these fancy gloves, the manual, these parts. One thing I want to show you over here. All right, this is the motor. Put that in the light. That's the motor right there. Oh, this motor, when I took this out of the bag, I just want you to be careful. One of these, there's 3 little black screws up here. One of them was out, or like not in the hole, not screwed in. I mean, no big deal, but just make sure there's 3 up there, because one of them popped out of that bag. You do have a remote, and there's a bracket on the remote, so watch that. All right, let's start putting this together. Right now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove my old fan that's on my ceiling. I'm not going to show you guys that, but if you are messing with electricity, I recommend, 100% recommend, getting like a voltage tester like this. They're really cheap. You can buy one right on Amazon, or you can go to the hardware store and buy one. That way when you turn your electricity off, you can check the wires up in there to 100%, make sure you don't have no power up in there. So let me take that off. And when you do turn your electricity off in your breaker box in your house, maybe put like a little sign on your breaker box that says do not turn back on or something, so nobody accidentally turns that power on when you're up working on your fan. All right, if you have an old light, or like I said, if you only have a light up there, you really need to make sure that bracket in the ceiling is going to hold that ceiling fan. But I have a ceiling fan up in here already, and I built this deck, so I know it's going to hold it. Now, first thing I'm going to do is go down in my breaker box, and I'm going to turn the power off to the electricity in this fan. So I'm going to leave this on, and I'm going to go downstairs and turn it off without even hitting the switch to turn this off. I don't want to touch that switch. I'm just going to turn the breaker off. That way I know it's definitely off, and I will check it with my voltage tester. All right, I know this is my lights on my deck. Now it's off. Now you could put like a little note here or something if you want to really be safe to make sure nobody touches that. Shut the door. All right, the power seems to be off. I do have a voltage tester, so when I get this off and I can see the wires under there, I'm going to check it with this voltage tester. All right, now I can see into where my wires are at. Now, if you know, no matter what you have, I really recommend, you can hear this thing beeping, it's on. There's a light on it, so I can turn it on, make sure it is working. But that thing would totally light up if there was power in here. There should be no power. Good to go. Like at least this ceiling fan, there was that screw where I could take it off of this little notch right there. And there was one on the other side where I took it off a notch. Now this is probably just hanging on here. Yeah, I can see if you're taking another ceiling fan down, most likely this piece here, I'll be able to just pick this whole ceiling fan up and take it off once I disconnect these wires. All right, now I should be able to pick this up, take it down. This is where I should have help, but I don't have help. Oh, easy though. Ah, it's not that bad. All right, in the directions it does say some of the tools you're going to need are a Phillips screwdriver, wire strippers, an impact drill, a ladder, and electrical tape. So I did get some wire strippers, some electrical tape. I'm already on my ladder and used my screwdriver. All right, first step is you're going to get the motor. So that's this big piece. And then we took out, I loosened these 3 screws here. There's 3 black screws. So they're all loosened up. Then there was this pin, like this pin right here. There's a hole there. It's through that hole. I take the little cotter pin out, this little cotter pin, and pulled that pin out. So I'll lay that aside. Now we're gonna put this piece on with this pin through it. The pin lays right in there like that, and that will be up through there like that. But I took mine apart, and there is a grounding wire attached to it, so I had to loosen that up also. So you're probably going to need this piece. I see why you take this apart, because in this step, this is where you're going to put either this one, or this really long one, or the middle one. So you got 3 different sizes, which I'm going to use the middle one. Let me tell you what the lengths of them are. Each one of these rods, the longest one is, it's about 23 3/4 of an inch long. This is about 10 inches long. And the short one that was already put together for me is 5 inches long. So it depends on how far down you want it to hang on your ceiling. Now each one of these should have, see there's 2 holes on one side, 2 holes there and 2 holes there, but the one end has a little hole in it right there. That's going to be for this. That's where you're going to put this end on, where that little hole is, because it has to do with this grounding wire. We are going to cut this. Be careful you don't cut the wires. I'm going to thread all these wires through that down rod, along with even this cable. Okay, let's straighten all these wires out. This part that's down will not have the other little tiny hole in it. So start putting your wires through that end first. Putting that cable through there first. It does fit Probably be a little harder with that really long one. You might have to take it apart. I think I'm gonna get it. I think I can reach down in there with my screwdriver. Yeah. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now I can push all these wires through there. There we go. Now you're gonna line that hole up in that down rod so that pin can go through there. Oh, where is it at? There it is. You pulled that pin out in the beginning there that has a little cotter pin on. That's gonna go through there. Just like that. Put the little cotter pin through the little hole on the other end. Now don't mix that up with the other pin. That one doesn't have a hole in it. Just like that. This piece here should go on like the cup part down. Not like this, like this. It's hard to see that in the directions there, but so you're gonna thread all the wires through that, and that's gonna cover up. All right, that just kind of fits over that tightly. That's gonna cover up all these screws. Before we put that down over that, we gotta tighten these 3 screws up, preferably evenly. Yeah, try to keep that gap all the way around there so it looks really nice and even. It does say in the directions too that you might have to take this part apart, but I was able to just kind of put that in there on an angle and it did slide through. All right, I got the pin in, cotter pin in. These are tightened up evenly as I can get it. I can push that down over that. That covers all that up. And we'll put this piece on next. There's 2 little, looks like little silver pieces there. Oh, they're magnets. Okay. But that is going to go on. The magnets will be facing up. And we got to put all these wires through that too. Just like that. So you can lay that there. I think the last thing we're going to put over that rod is this big piece here. That's going to go on like this. Wires, this green wire is the grounding wire. Put that through the safety cable thing. All right, now I'm going to put this piece back on the top here. That will go on like this, not like this, like that. So we got to run all the wires through that again. And once you get that on, you take this little, that pin you pulled out, stick it through those holes in your down rod around the wires there, like that, and you can stick this up against it. Yeah, my fan came with this. There was a little silver screw in there for like grounding. I took it out, but there's another screw in the kit that's a little bit longer. So I'm going to use that for this. So I'm going to put that pin back in there, put that up, and there's a hole that I'm going to thread that into this down rod with this longer screw, and my grounding wire should go in there. There we go. And that threads right in there. Don't get too crazy on that. You're just threading that into that down rod. All right, next step is I'm going to put all these fan blades together. So grab all your fan blades, grab all these parts that look like this. They're metal. And then there was a big packet of black screws. They're just little tiny screws. Grab all them and these little metal pieces like this. And I'll show you how to put one together and then you can do the rest. So the one end of the blade has this like plastic tip on it, and the other end has 5 different holes in it. This metal bracket will go on there like that. There's little ribs here. It lays down in there. And the other side, plain side of the blade, takes one of these metal pieces like this. They go on like that. Not like that. I guess you could put them on like that, but it's going to be backwards, and I think it might mess it up when you put them on your motor. So flip that around, and it should lay in there. There's these pieces stick out a little bit, so it fits right in them holes. It drops right in there, and it doesn't kind of move. You won't get the screws in unless you line that up anyway. So flip that over, and you're going to put 5 of these little Phillips screws in there. Start them by hand. 1, 2, and then you're going to tighten them up with your Phillips screwdriver. You want them pretty snug, but you don't want to strip them out either, so be careful over tightening them. You're only tightening into aluminum, so I'm going to use my drill. If you do use a drill, just be careful. I'm going to check them with my screwdriver. Oh, look at that. That one wasn't even started. Looks good. 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 All right, just do all 8 of them so they'll be ready. All right, now we're going to take this piece and hang this from the ceiling, which you will have. These 2 right here are for concrete. If you're putting this into a concrete ceiling, that's what those 2 are for. I took off the nuts and washers and the lock washers off of it. I'm going to use it on my the wood screws that came with it. It does say in the directions that there is a safety set screw is not included. I'm just going to use one of these as my safety set screw. So I'm going to take these washers and I'm going to put them on 2 of them. Wait, hang on. I am going to take these lock washers, put that on that wood screw, and then the regular washer on that wood screw. Same thing with the second one. Lock washer, washer. I don't even know if you really need the lock washer, but and I went and got 2 more little washers to put on the other 2. I'm going to use all 4 of these screws because there's, I think, couple different ways you could attach this to your ceiling. You could use these spots or these 4 holes. Well, I'm going to use all 4 wood screws in these 4 holes because I'm going into wood on my deck. And then I'm going to put that safety cable through one of these. And then these 2 screws stay loosened up because that one cover, the cover on the motor there that we put on, will go over that. Another thing that it does not really say in the directions is to mount these first or mount these last. I think the directions kind of go by mounting these, put the motor on the ceiling, then mount these on. So, but it's up to you guys. I think you could probably put these on first and then put your motor up on the ceiling, but it's going to make it a little bit more difficult to do the wiring. Definitely more difficult, I think. So I'm going to mount these last, like it says in the directions. All right, I'm going to mount this bracket right on my wood beams. There's multiple different ways you can mount this, but this is how I'm going to do it because it's going to be really sturdy to put 4 screws through this into that wood beam. If you have a box in your ceiling, and then maybe you might be mounting right to your box. This is how I mount mine. These 4 screws, and then one of these I'm going to put that safety chain through. Two more, but one of them I'm going to leave loose for a second till I get that safety chain on it. Oh, look at that. That snapped right off. I'm gonna have to get another screw. I just broke one. All right, I'm back. I got a couple big 3-inch wood screws that I'm gonna put in there. I think they'll be better anyway. Hope I can get around that one I broke. That sucker ain't going anywhere. You know, I think I might change all these out. You guys do what you want to do, but I did use my own 3-inch wood screws to go into this. I just got to hook my safety chain on this one. All right, let me go get that. Now I'm going to hang this motor up here. there is, you can see it up in here, there's a little tab sticking out where this little round piece goes into. And there's a little notch there. That notch has to line up with that tab. My wire's out of the way. There we go. Now I can take that safety chain and hook that up. Tighten that other screw up. There's a little, 2 screws on this safety cable. I'm going to loosen this one up so I can pull that tighter when I get it on there. Yes, like that. I'm going to put it around my screw that I left loose, pull it tight. I don't think it has to be super tight on there, just as long as you can keep it on there good. And then I'm going to tighten that screw back up. Alright, like that. That should be good. Now I can tighten that screw up that I left loose. I'm going to keep tension on that cable. All right, there we go. That will not go anywhere. Now we got to do all this wiring. All right, there should be only 3 wires we got to wire up. And my wire that comes out of my, well, my beam or your ceiling most likely should have 3 wires on it also. I have so there's a black wire, white wire, and then one would be the ground wire. And I think it's green. So the ground wire is going to go, at least I'm not a professional electrician. It does say all through that manual, you should have this all put in with a professional electrician. But I'm going to wire this green wire up to this grounding wire along with this grounding wire. There's a couple different ones on here. You're going to have 1, 2, and then 3 grounding wires are going to go onto that. And then it does come with three little orange wire nuts. So pretty much mine, the black wire is going to go on the black wire. The white wire is going on the white wire. I'm going to take all these grounding wires and I'm going to twist all 3 of those green wires together. And then I'm going to put them on my copper wire here. So I'm going to make them a little longer. And I like to take the stranded wire and stick it in the wire nut first. It's hard to show you this. I'm up on a ladder. And then I'm going to take the solid copper wire and stick it in there. Nice and tight. Like that. Okay, that's it. Now I have 1 wire left, which is the white wire. Twist those wires together. 1 wire nut. I stick that little stranded wire. One of the stranded wires, I like to stick it in the wire nut first. And then put the solid one on from in my ceiling and twist it. Okay, now you should take these wires and give them just a little tug. They shouldn't come out of there. You want them to be on real good. Now you can take that electrical, it said you should have electrical tape, and wrap all these up with electrical tape. I'm not going to worry so much about these grounding wires. My power wire, I'm going to wrap up. And then this neutral wire, I think I'll wrap some electrical tape around that. All right, let me show you what I did. So right here on this box, you'll have that black, white, and the green wire for ground. I put the white wire with the white wire, the black wire with the black wire, and then I twisted all them green wires together, and then I put that on with my copper wire. And I did tape these up. You could really tape all 3 up if you want, but I mean, this is already kind of bare, so I'm not going to worry about that. But then, like I said, I did give that a little tug. And plug all these plugs in. You can't really mess this up because they only plug in one way. You will see on the plug it says like motor, and then on the one on the box it says motor. So plug them together. They won't go in the wrong ones. So if you can't get it in, try the other one. All right, they are together. There's 2 plugs, and I have a little antenna, so that's okay. Oh, look at that! I missed one. I missed 1 ground. I hope you didn't do that already. I didn't realize that. You got 4 grounding wires. I'm going to take that back off and twist that together. So you got 4 green wires and then the copper wire. This little black box should go right up inside here. I'm going to pull that 1 black wire through. That's like the antenna. All right, like that. These wires are a lot longer than they need because they're for that really, really long down rod that was longer. Now I'm going to put this together, make sure. And if you could have took some of these wires and pushed them back down into there, that would have probably helped me. I'm going to just try to wrap these around there like this. There's a lot of wires. Just make sure they're not rubbing on anything metal. I think they should be all right. See if that helps me. There, those two screws don't got to be too crazy tight. They're just holding that on. And the magnetic piece. Now I think all I got to do is put the blades on and hook my light up. All right, now you're going to get all your blades, your Phillips screwdriver, and all the rest of those little black Phillips screws. And we're going to just start mounting these on. The blades go up on top, right on top of that, like there's like rubber on top of each one of these things. So I don't know if this would be easier to do beforehand or after. It would have been a lot harder, I guess, if these were all on. I was trying to do that wiring. So just mount all 8 of your blades on here and we'll go on to the next step. All right, I got 1 on and then 2 on. Now, I just wanted to show you that because I didn't go, just keep going around because it's going to put so much weight on one side. It might help to kind of go opposite for a little bit. All right, I got all my blades on. Now I'm just going to put the light on here. So we are going to, there's a spot to plug it in right there. Put that little plug through there. Make sure these 3, one of these screws you got to take out. You'll see why when you look in there. Two of the holes, you can slide it over, and the one is solid. So put your little, you're going to put that through that hole, plug it in, and then put it over the 2 screws. Okay, there's that. I'm going to plug this in. Hopefully I didn't have to do that beforehand. It might be easier to do that before you do that. I think I get it on there. All right, now I guess all I have left is to put that little cover over. And I can see there's 3, is it 3, 1, 2, 3 little raised spots up in here. You'll see them when you look up in there. So this cover is going to go up there. You're going to match it up with little spots on here and it will twist on. How in the world? Oh, like that. It's kind of hard to, I hope that stays, because that's hard to make tight. All right, I guess that's how it goes. Oh, wait, there you go. Okay, just like that. Now I'm going to go turn the power on, see if this thing works. All right, turn my power back on, and it works like a charm. It is awesome. On the remote, you will have 1 through 6. That's the fan speeds, and the F and R is to turn it from forward to reverse. And you'll have different timers on here. This is for the LED light. It will, I think it slowly just kind of goes brighter and slowly goes dimmer. The different colors are for the different color lights. It'd be like more of a white light, a more yellowish light. Yeah. Oh, there I can see it. I don't know if you can see that. That looks more like a bluish color. Oh, that's nice. And then this little wind looking thing, that will change the, if you push that, it will make it so the speeds will go faster and slower and faster and slower. All right, well that's it. Thanks for watching this video. If this video helped you out with installing your fan, give this video a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button to help support this channel. God bless and have a great day.